Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national world. I would hope that 50 years from now, whatever, that people would associate the words peace and human rights with my name.
Jimmy Carter, the former president of the United States, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, has died at the age of 100. The Carter Center announced the former president's death this afternoon. We're glad you're with us. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Esteban. We begin by remembering the life and the legacy of our former president. James Earl Carter was born in Plains, Georgia on October 1st, 1924. In 1946, he graduated near the top of his class at the U.S. Naval Academy. Then he married Rosalynn Smith before serving on the nation's developing nuclear submarine program. He returned to Georgia to help run his family's peanut farm before launching a political career that took him all the way to the White House. In 2015, Jimmy Carter announced his cancer diagnosis, battling metastatic melanoma that had spread to his brain and liver. He spoke about how he wasn't fearful of death when he was first diagnosed.
You know, I've had a wonderful life. I've had thousands of friends, and I've had an exciting and adventurous and gratifying existence. So I was surprisingly at ease, much more so than my wife was. But now I feel, you know, that it's in the hands of God, whom I worship, and I'll be prepared for anything that comes.
In 1981, Carter established the Carter Center, sponsoring programs to promote human rights in the Third World and monitoring elections in developing democracies. The former president and his late wife volunteered their time and their energy building low-income housing for Habitat of Humanity. Let's go to Washington, D.C. right now. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden released a statement on the passing of the former president. In it, they remember President Carter and the legacy he leaves behind. The statement reads in part, "Today, America and the world lost an extraordinary leader, statesman, and humanitarian. Over 6 decades, we had the honor of calling Jimmy Carter a dear friend. But what's extraordinary about Jimmy Carter, though, it is that millions of people throughout America and the world who never met him thought of him as a dear friend as well." President-elect Donald Trump sending his condolences to the Carter family today. In a post online, Trump said Carter did everything in his power to improve the lives of all Americans, adding that the challenges Carter faced as president came at a pivotal time for the country. Carter's death comes less than 30 days before Donald Trump is sworn in for his second term in office. To honor Carter, the American flag will fly at half-staff on Inauguration Day. Here in Western Washington, condolences are pouring in, local leaders reacting to the passing of Carter, who lived the longest of any American president. Senator Patty Murray took to X today. Her post reads in part, "His kindness and compassion, whether through his philanthropy here at home or his tireless efforts to broker peace around the world, were a model for all Americans." And Washington Governor Jay Inslee spoke about the former president, emphasizing his message on renewable energy, saying there are many reasons to reflect on the legacy of former President Jimmy Carter. One is the vision he had for renewable energy that is now being realized. Let's take a look out at the Space Needle right now. The official page for the Seattle Landmark announced moments ago that it will fly the flag at half-mast, or I should say half-staff, to commemorate the life and legacy of President Jimmy Carter. Organizers say the flag will be raised at sunrise and remain up until sunset all day tomorrow. The former president has left a lasting impact around the world, and here in the Pacific Northwest, we are remembering when Carter made a stop right here at KOMO 15 years ago. Take a look. He visited both our TV studios and KOMO 1000, our former radio station. He was a guest that day on KOMO's Northwest Afternoon talk show. These are some of the images from that visit. Carter also sat down with former KOMO news anchor Dan Lewis for a one-on-one interview. At the time, he was here promoting his book called "We Can Have Peace in the Holy Land," a plan that will work. According to the Carter Center, there will be public observances held in Atlanta and in D.C. for President Jimmy Carter. His family will then hold a private interment at his home in Plains, Georgia. Final arrangements for Carter's state funeral are pending. The Carter Center is urging the public to visit the official tribute website, which includes an online condolence book commemorating the nation's 39th president.